As the Buddha wisely said, "You are the master of your own life. Who else could take that role?" This insight reminds us that our sense of inner calm and fulfillment is shaped by the decisions we make, especially regarding the individuals we keep close. Growing older is often seen as a precious season of life, a chance to look back, appreciate the journey, and seek serenity. Yet, just like we would thoughtfully care for a garden, we must also be intentional about the relationships we maintain. Some people uplift and energize us, while others leave us feeling depleted. Today, we'll look into 6 kinds of individuals to steer clear of during your later years, even if they're relatives. Making these choices can help protect your well-being, respect the path you've walked, and allow you to fully experience the clarity and freedom that come with a life unburdened by toxic ties. 1. The self-focused. The Buddha spoke of genuine connection as something born from deep compassion and true understanding. But occasionally we encounter people so wrapped up in their own world that they fail to acknowledge the lives of others. These self-focused individuals tend to take over discussions, turning every interaction into a monologue. Imagine this. You're about to share a moment close to your heart, perhaps a touching memory from a past adventure that still brings joy, only to be cut off mid-sentence. Before you've had a chance to finish, they shift the spotlight onto themselves, recounting their own stories with little regard for yours. The moment, once intimate and meaningful, quickly becomes just another performance starring them. Repeated experiences like this can leave you feeling invisible, like your role in the relationship is simply to provide an audience. Often, such behavior isn't rooted in cruelty. It stems from a lack of awareness. They may value your presence, but their inner world takes precedence, blinding them to your feelings. True empathy remains out of reach for them, and as a result, the relationship feels one-sided. This can be particularly disheartening in later years when your life's journey, filled with valuable insights and cherished memories, deserves attention and honor. Interacting with those who constantly center themselves requires mindfulness and clarity. If you find the conversation slipping into imbalance, try gently guiding it back. A phrase like, "That story means a lot to me. I'd love to finish it," serves as a kind but clear reminder that your voice carries weight. Redirecting the dialogue respectfully can slowly encourage more mutual engagement. Still, there are times when redirection isn't enough. Being around someone who repeatedly overlooks your contributions can be emotionally exhausting. At such moments, setting boundaries becomes essential. Choose to invest your time and energy in people who genuinely care about what you have to say. Those who listen deeply, respond thoughtfully, and hold space for your stories. Seek out relationships with people, be they friends, relatives, or members of your community, who recognize your wisdom and appreciate the richness of your experiences. These are the connections that replenish your spirit and make you feel truly seen. Picture a warm gathering where everyone's voice is honored, where laughter is shared, and stories are met with curiosity and warmth. These are the bonds that reflect the harmony of mutual respect, a refreshing contrast to the draining nature of one-sided interactions. Buddhist teachings view relationships as fertile ground for practicing presence and compassion. When mutual respect forms the foundation, both individuals grow and flourish. During moments of solitude, remember that your life is a tapestry of meaning, filled with valuable lessons and joyful memories. Share those with people who are eager to listen, not those who silence your story with their own. Let go of the urge to earn validation from the oblivious, and instead treasure the connections that honor your voice and reflect the depth of your journey. 2. The thankless. There's a quiet fulfillment that comes with giving, but few things sting more than a lack of appreciation. Those who are thankless often overlook the effort behind your kindness, leaving you feeling disregarded and discouraged. As these moments accumulate, what once brought you happiness starts to feel burdensome. The emotional toll grows, and your willingness to give begins to wane. Picture putting thought and care into preparing something special, perhaps a home-cooked meal, only to be met with criticism or indifference. Or consider offering unwavering support during someone's difficult time, only to find that when you're in need, they are nowhere to be found. Buddhism teaches us to offer without clinging to recognition, that true generosity arises from an open heart rather than the hope of reciprocation. Still, there comes a time when it's important to notice when your kindness is being overlooked or misused. Acts of giving should be cherished, not treated as obligations. If you begin to feel depleted rather than enriched, it may be a signal that the dynamic has become unbalanced. It's worth reflecting on whether the connection is based on mutual appreciation or simply routine expectation. Does the person genuinely see the value in your actions, or do they treat your efforts as something they're entitled to? Often, the thankless don't intend to exploit others. They may be unaware, operating from a mindset that assumes support will always be available. Recognizing this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it helps you choose your next steps, whether it's having an honest conversation or choosing to offer your care elsewhere. Redirecting your compassion toward people or communities that openly value it can be deeply healing. Giving your time to meaningful causes like mentoring, volunteering, or supporting those in need can renew your sense of purpose. Picture an elder joyfully reading to children at a library or helping serve meals in a local shelter, surrounded by genuine smiles and heartfelt appreciation. These simple moments of connection can restore your belief in the beauty of selfless acts. It's also essential to reflect on your own motivations. Giving should come from a place of love and intention, not obligation or guilt. When your actions align with your values and bring you peace, they become spiritually uplifting. Let go of the burden of trying to earn appreciation from those who can't offer it, and instead, cherish the relationships where your presence and efforts are recognized. Visualize a life where your kindness is met with warmth and gratitude, where the people around you honor your contributions with sincerity. This isn't some distant ideal. It's a life you can shape by choosing where your energy flows. In your later years, you deserve moments of tranquility, connection, and joy, not frustration rooted in unmet expectations. By protecting your emotional well-being and surrounding yourself with appreciative souls, you preserve the essence of giving while safeguarding your heart from the pain of being unseen. 3. The subtle controller. Picture this. You're enjoying a quiet afternoon, lost in the comfort of a warm cup of tea, when suddenly your phone rings. It's a familiar voice, another family member needing a hand once again. Initially, you're happy to help, assuming it's a rare request. But as time passes, their needs become constant, and the asks feel less like favors and more like expectations. You start feeling depleted, as if your generosity has become a resource they count on a little too freely. These types of people have a knack for using empathy to their advantage. They tug at your sense of responsibility and cleverly invoke guilt to keep you compliant. You agree to help, not because you want to, but because you feel like you must, and slowly, your hard-earned peace begins to erode. Buddhist teachings remind us that boundaries are not barriers of cruelty, but expressions of wise compassion for ourselves and for others. Compassion doesn't equate to tolerating harmful dynamics. Rather, it involves caring while maintaining our mental and emotional safety. Often, manipulators will raise the stakes, using emotional tactics to tighten their hold. They might recall all you've done for them before, appealing to your loyalty or kindness. And if you push back, you may be labeled heartless, your goodness weaponized against you. But Buddhism teaches that authentic compassion must come from a place of inner balance. Without protecting our own peace, we have little left to offer with sincerity. To guard your energy, cultivate discernment. When someone asks for your time or effort, pause and reflect. Does this request contribute to calm or disrupt it? Think about the toll on your body, your emotions, and your spirit. Learn to say no with grace and clarity. You might say, "I care about your situation, but I also need to prioritize my well-being." Remember, enforcing boundaries isn't selfish. It's a form of self-honoring and survival. They empower you to preserve your strength and direct it toward what truly aligns with your values. In Buddhist philosophy, such boundaries reflect mindfulness. They call for deep self-awareness and the courage to act from that awareness. When you say no, you're not rejecting the individual, but rather the unhealthy dynamic that has formed. This awareness helps nurture relationships that are supportive, not draining. Visualize an elder sitting peacefully in their garden, the sounds of the breeze and birds surrounding them. The phone rings, but they don't rush to answer. Instead, they remain grounded, choosing to relish the moment. That simple act marks a profound shift, a choice to value serenity over endless obligation. Adopting this mindset allows you to reclaim your time, your energy, and your joy, paving the way for more meaningful and nourishing connections. 4. The careless one. Some people move through life, leaving a trail of unfinished responsibilities, relying on others to carry the burdens they refuse to face. The careless person often turns to you for help, be it emotional support, financial aid, or assistance with everyday problems, offering vague assurances that they'll change, though little ever does. What may start as a one-time favor soon becomes a cycle of dependency that slowly disturbs the calm and stability you've built for yourself. At first, you may feel it's only natural to help. A bit of money to cover an emergency, a sympathetic ear during a hard moment, or a hand through a difficult patch. You give with an open heart, hoping your support will spark change. But as time passes, you begin to notice a pattern. Promises are made and forgotten. The same requests reappear, now more frequent and urgent. Before long, their avoidance of responsibility becomes your problem to manage, draining your emotional strength and, in some cases, your finances too. Buddhist teachings remind us that every person must face the results of their own choices. The law of karma emphasizes individual accountability. Constantly stepping in to shield someone from their own consequences only delays their growth. In doing so, you disrupt a process meant to teach resilience, accountability, and self-awareness. Compassion does not mean sacrificing yourself endlessly. It means caring in a way that honors your limits and encourages growth in others. The first step in handling such dynamics is to recognize that your role isn't to constantly pick up the slack. You are not required to fix situations you didn't create. Practicing compassionate detachment helps you remain kind without absorbing someone else's chaos. You might say something like, "I understand you're going through a lot, but I'm not able to take this on. Maybe it's time to look into other avenues for help." This way, you express concern without compromising your well-being. Another helpful shift is to move from rescuing to encouraging self-reliance. Rather than stepping in to resolve their issues, guide them toward tools or resources they can use on their own. If they're frequently asking for money, suggest they connect with a financial advisor or look into budgeting strategies. Supporting someone doesn't mean solving everything for them. It means empowering them to find their own way while preserving your peace of mind. Picture an elder kneeling at a small shrine, lighting incense as they silently reflect. This quiet ritual represents a deeper practice of letting go, of knowing which burdens are not yours to carry. In doing so, you reclaim the serenity that is rightfully yours. Letting go of the urge to rescue is not coldness. It's a form of wisdom, a sign that you value your time and emotional energy. These later years should be filled with contentment, self-discovery, and meaningful relationships, not spent cleaning up after someone else's repeated missteps. By creating healthy boundaries and honoring your needs, you offer others the opportunity to grow while protecting your own joy. True compassion uplifts both the giver and the receiver, but it must be rooted in clarity, not obligation. 5. The overcritical voice. Criticism often cuts the deepest when it comes from someone we love or trust. The overcritical person is the one who consistently highlights your missteps, presenting their observations as guidance or concern. At first, their remarks might seem well-meaning, but they can slowly start to undermine your confidence and chip away at your self-worth. It usually begins in subtle ways, comments wrapped in polite suggestions like, "Maybe it would be better if," or "You might want to think about." Though these statements sound gentle, they carry an undertone of judgment. With repetition, this steady critique becomes like a slow drip against a surface, eventually shaping how you feel about yourself and the world around you. In Buddhist thought, there's a teaching that reminds us, other people's words only harm us if we allow them to settle within. Just as an arrow only wounds when it pierces the skin, criticism only has power when we accept it without discernment. Recognizing this gives us agency. It's not about ignoring everything that's said, but about choosing how much influence we allow those words to have. When dealing with a chronic critic, ask yourself, is this coming from a place of genuine care, or are they deflecting their own discomfort and disappointment? It's not uncommon for frequent critics to be battling their own doubts and fears. They may direct that energy outward, using critique as a way to feel in control or superior. When we understand this dynamic, we can respond not with anger, but with a clear sense of self. Meeting their judgment with steady composure is an act of awareness. Instead of taking their comments to heart, try saying something like, "Thanks for your input, but I'm happy with where I am." This simple reply is both respectful and firm. It reinforces your boundaries without inviting further conflict. At times, preserving your peace means stepping back. If someone's negativity is constant and draining, reducing contact may be necessary. There is no harm in choosing environments where your spirit is lifted instead of criticized. Surround yourself with those who see your potential and honor your journey. These kinds of relationships are nourishing and help you rebuild any confidence that was chipped away. Picture yourself in a quiet backyard, tending to your flowers as dappled light filters through the trees. A passing comment of critique floats by like a breeze, but you let it go, unbothered, and continue your task with calm purpose. This moment reflects the strength of emotional detachment and the beauty of choosing peace over unnecessary reaction. By embracing this mindset, you affirm your own worth. No one else's opinion determines the value of your path. Your joy isn't dependent on others' approval, and your life need not conform to their expectations. By giving your attention to what uplifts you and letting go of harsh voices, you create space for your truest self to grow, confident, centered, and free. 6. The energy vampires. There is one kind of person we must be careful with: the energy vampire. You know them. These are the people who leave you feeling tired, drained, and anxious after every conversation. Maybe they complain all the time. Maybe they gossip. Or maybe they just talk about themselves endlessly and never ask how you're doing. They don't always do it on purpose, but the effect is the same. They take your energy and give nothing back. In Buddhism, we learn that our energy is sacred. It's connected to our peace. And peace is what leads us to freedom. Energy vampires pull us away from that path. They don't want to grow. They want to stay in their suffering and drag others into it too. Think of your energy like a candle flame. If you surround it with wind, it flickers and dies. But if you protect it, it shines bright and steady, lighting up the path for yourself and others. Here's an example. You meet a friend who always brings problems, never solutions. You try to help, but they don't want to change. They just want to vent, complain, blame. After you leave, you feel heavy. That's not compassion, that's drainage. Now imagine a different friend, someone who lifts you, listens, and shares. Even if they're struggling, they want to grow. Being with them inspires you. This is mutual energy exchange. It's healing. Buddha taught us to choose our surroundings wisely, not with hate, not with judgment, but with wisdom. So how do you deal with energy vampires? One word: boundaries. Kindness doesn't mean saying yes to everyone. Compassion doesn't mean allowing yourself to be harmed. True compassion starts with yourself. Protect your peace. Limit time with those who drain you. Wish them well, but from a distance. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Stay around people who fill your spirit, not those who feed on it. Guard your energy like it's your soul's treasure, because it is. This journey of protecting your peace, especially in your later years, is not about building walls. It's about planting gardens, gardens of joy, clarity, and calm. And just like any good gardener, you must choose carefully what to nurture and what to weed out. The 6 types of people we've explored today, the self-focused, the thankless, the subtle controller, the careless one, the overcritical voice, and the energy vampire, can cloud your inner sky if left unchecked. They may not always mean harm, but the weight they bring can rob you of the light you've spent a lifetime cultivating. Now is your time. A time for simplicity, connection, and truth. A time to sit in the quiet and feel whole, not questioned. A time to laugh with those who see you, not shrink for those who drain you. Let go of the need to explain your boundaries. Let go of guilt. Let go of old roles that no longer serve your spirit. Choose people who honor your presence, who nourish your soul, who walk beside you, not on you. In this sacred season of life, Protect your peace like it's your most precious possession, because it is. And remember, the clearer your space, the brighter your light. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone you love. Let's build a world where peace is protected and wisdom is passed on. One story, one boundary, one breath at a time.